What's up, guys? Game Fan of all games here, and I'm back with another drama scripted Saturday. And if you're new here, this is a wrestling show where I give my thoughts on what happened in this past weeks of wrestling, all the major news that happened, and all the major wrestling companies, whether it be AEW, WWE, or New Japan Wrestling, things that I've watched, things that I've enjoyed, things I didn't like. But how we've been starting off for the past 32 weeks on Drama Scripted Saturday, I always give you guys the Wednesday Night Wars, the AEW and NXT ratings. And AEW with 901,000 to NXT's 753,000. So NXT winning by just under 147,000 viewers, and yet again they win the 18 to 40 demographic yet again. So I think this is another 4 to 5 week win streak for AEW. So that's that. Let me go into my topics. Small review of AEW, what I liked, what I didn't like. So I'm just gonna come out straight with it. This is gonna sound kind of lewd and vulgar, but that fake crowd noise, they need to cut that out. AEW is ruining their shows with the fake crowd and the sign, because it comes off as annoying from time to time, and they're not real reactions. It sounds like it's just taped and it's played, and they adjust the volumes at certain times. We don't need that. You already have that audience. Let me hear those people's voices, not the edited in pre-recorded sighs and oohs and ahs, because now it just sounds like unnecessary back noise, which I don't like, and they keep doing. And they've been doing it since Fight for the Fallen, because I remember when I did my Fight for the Fallen review here, I remember complaining about that a lot, and that's when they started doing that Fight in the Fallen. It seems like every week after every Wednesday they keep doing it, and it just gets more and more annoying, and obviously it doesn't come off natural. It's different than what they did during taped SmackDown events before the pandemic. Talking about like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Wow, it's really been that long. When SmackDown was taped, they would just lower the crowd volumes, which is different because the responses was still real. The volume was just changed, as in them just having a pre-recorded type oohs and ahs, and then just playing it in thoroughly in the background. And if you listen to it hard enough, you can hear where it cuts and loops and starts back over. It's just very annoying. That needs to go. I was very happy at the start. They just, as AEW always does, they just go straight in with the action. All 12 men were already in the ring. You already had the Dark Order. You already had FTR. You already had the Elite. Everyone's in. I know we marks in the WWE, we used to call that the jobber entrance, where their entrances are not shown on television. They just go straight to the action. But they just got straight to the point, and the bad guys won. So, and by the leader, Brody Lee, he discless clothesline the holy hell out of Hangman Adam Page, and picked up the 1, 2, 3. So now Dark Order is looking like a legit stable. They beat the tag team champions. They beat the reigning tag team champions, who's been champions for the past five to 6 months. They've beaten the new biggest signing to AEW tag team wise. They're beating FTR, and they beat the Bucks. So now I can say, like, they're legit. They beat the top faces team wise. So that was good and interesting to see where that's gonna go. And then another thing that stuck out to me was the Santana Ortiz versus Best Friends match. That was a good match. I was surprised at the ending of that match with Best Friends winning. And then the response, to keep Santana or Ortiz to keep their heel factor, and hey, you were still the goons on the block that you don't want to mess with. They destroy Sue's van, which is Trent's mom's. They destroy her van and spray painted it. And then when Best Friends get back to the car, the tires are stripped. So just like how they do in the most dangerous hoods, they strip your vehicle, and Loud and Proud strips the van, which was very, it was funny to me. I found it funny because it's a hood thing, and I grew up in the hood, so I've seen stripped vehicles, so it really fits on the Santana and Ortiz and where they came from in their background and what they faced. So I like that feud viewing, and next week on AEW there's tag team appreciation, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna get a rematch against Best Friends. Another thing, Matt and Cody, this is Matt's debut. They beat the other two people of Dark Order, which is weird. So you had the main group of Dark Order, they won, and then two other members of Dark Order, they lose, which I'm very interested to see how Brody Lee responds to that follow-up. Maybe they get kicked out of the Dark Order because Dark Order didn't win all their matches, but I'm very interested to see what Brody Lee does to those two people that lost in their match while Brody Lee and the other members of Dark Order won in their match. I'm very, very interested to see the follow-up on that. Scorpio Sky then came out at the end of the match and challenged Cody for the TNT title, and Cody said, yeah, whatever. Okay, I guess I'm not nothing against Scorpio Sky, but the way they're doing the TNT title thing, it's, I guess anyone could just walk up to it seems like almost anyone could just walk up to Cody and ask for a title shot. Okay, like I said, I guess that's how that belt seems to be themed, and that's how AEW seems to wants to roll with it. Then Matt Hardy came out saying he's just going to be Matt Hardy, and he was going to try to be a mentor to all the younger talent. He was going to try to do that to Sammy, but Sammy doesn't want to listen. And Sammy came out and beat the holy hell out of Matt Hardy, and then there was a chair spot. It was very, very vicious. I had to rewind it 3 or 4 times. I think I even saw it in slow-mo. Sammy OD. He did a vicious Sabu like chair throw and hit Matt straight in the forehead. Like he didn't hold back when he threw the chair. And it split. It naturally split. It wasn't like Matt bladed himself. It naturally split Matt's head open, and reportedly it took 10 stitches to close that wound. And now I'm hearing that Sammy is getting heat for that because he wasn't supposed to throw the chair that hard. So I guess he got carried away. I saw at some times, after he did the crooked 450 Santon splash from the stage onto Matt, I saw at times where he was a little bit concerned on Sammy, but he didn't want to break character, so he knew he fucked up, but he couldn't break character. If you rewatch it again, you could see there's several times where he pauses and looks, but he's in the moment, so he doesn't want to break character. So he knew he fucked up, and now reportedly he's getting backstage here for it, but he really OD'd. What AEW can do, because I know it's a progressive fruit between Matt Hardy and between Sammy, is that this could bring, if they want to go that route, this can bring back broken Matt Hardy, because as it all started on TNA, Matt Hardy fell on his head, and as we have here, we have a vicious chair shot to the head. So if they would like to go that route and him bring back broken Matt Hardy, they can, but we'll wait and see what happens. So, and then other noticeable things I've noticed about AEW past Wednesday. The championship match between Jon Moxley and Darby Allin, it was good. I like the storytelling here with Jon saying he sees a lot of his younger self and Darby, how he's not going to stop. And Darby Allin didn't stop. He kept going 1,000 straight at Dean Ambrose, and everything that Darby had for Dean Ambrose had to answer to. The interference with MJF, because MJF is clearly afraid of Jon Moxley. He'd rather go against Darby. That didn't work, and we had, so I don't know if it was overdone, but I think, to my knowledge, I think that was the first kick out of the coffin drop. So the coffin drop is no longer protected. So Jon Moxley, after taking the title shot to the face by MJF and a coffin drop, he kicks out. And then Darby got some momentum to do a second coffin drop. Jon Moxley reversed it into a rear chin sleeper hold and then did a pile driver, which Darby kicked out of that. And then it seems as if, like, I didn't want to do it to you. I really didn't want to do it to you. But he had no other choice but to paradigm shift Darby Allin. And he got the 1, 2, 3 and he started talking to him. So it was like, like a father and son thing, big brother, little brother thing. Like, I'm proud of you. You gave your all. But Jon Moxley still leaves as your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And I like that the AEW title is heavily sought out for. MJF wants it. Brian Cage wants it. Darby, obviously, I'm assuming he still wants it, even though he just lost his match and probably has to go back to the line. But a lot of people want the AEW World Heavyweight title. And that's what you want. You want that title to feel important. You want everyone to want it. So it does look important. Other takeaways that I didn't like. Why does Britt Baker, who's going to be on the shelf until All Out, has a long progressive feud with Big Swole, but yet there's no long progressive feud for the AEW Women's Champion? It's like, they could have taken that, they could have swung it. They could have just had Big Swole go after the title and then just have Britt Baker waiting in the background. And they could have did something where Big Swole wins the AEW Women's title and then Britt Baker comes out of nowhere and challenges her. They could have did that, but they're like, it's like, I don't want to say like the title doesn't exist. Well, technically the title doesn't exist. The champion wasn't even on the show. So that's another feature to take away here. That Io wasn't even on the show. So yeah, that's that. Heading in to some WWE SmackDown. Matt Riddle gets beat by Sheamus, and Shorty G comes in and beats up Matt Riddle after the match. Okay. Yet again, new talent losing. Don't get it. So apparently we're gonna have a Matt Riddle and Shorty G feud, which I'm pretty hopefully, since Matt Riddle has been only on SmackDown for a month, hopefully Matt Riddle wins. So yeah. And then we had, was a lot to take away from here. I don't really know how to explain it. We had The Fiend come out, his theme song, Hurt Heel. And then it was like Alyssa Bliss just randomly pop up, which doesn't really make sense unless if you really want to go deep here with the story scripting and storytelling, unless that was something that The Fiend was trying to implant in everyone's mind. Like, last week happened, but they were trying to replica, and maybe that's him playing mind tricks to do it again, but that didn't happen. You see what I'm trying to say? Like, it's like something, it's like he tried to demonstrate, you know, repeating the thing with Alexa Bliss again, but putting it in our heads that this is happening, but it's not happening. I'm going to assume that's what they're trying to do. Like, we get what happened last week, that actually happened, but what happened this week, he's just putting in our heads to replay it again, but it actually didn't happen. I don't know if anyone, like, kind of gets what I'm trying to say. And then Braun Strowman pops up on the Titantron and gives him a rematch, which Braun Strowman drowned 3 weeks ago in that swamp match. And then he just randomly pops up, not in person, pops up on the Titantron and gives The Fiend his rematch. So, very, very, very odd. And then, you know, Stephanie McMahon on a conference business call with Bayley and Sasha, triple threat match. Bayley's in it. Whoever wins gets a shot at SummerSlam, blah, blah, blah. I guess we're going to get Sasha versus Bayley sometime in the fall, but then I hope they get, so one of them is going to have, either one of them is going to have 3 titles, or someone's going to have two belts. But I don't want it to be unified because it's going to take away from the show. So, like how Becky Lynch did it. So, you know how Becky Lynch had both belts, but it wasn't unified? Hopefully something like that is going to happen. So, you know, eventually, whichever one winds up having 3 belts, or someone else comes in and have 2 belts, and then Becky and Sasha still remain tag team women champion, that they don't unify the belts. They just have 2 belts. So, that was SmackDown. Oh yeah, Retribution. Everyone keeps chiming in about their size. Like they're too small. If done right, they're on the road to be the next Nexus. The only reason why the Nexus, I mean, I'm not gonna say the Nexus didn't fail, but the Nexus could have been bigger than what they were, is because they didn't let Barrett go over, and they never gave Barrett the title. Barrett, when he was the head of the Nexus, was an outrageously charismatic heel. Like, his charisma was outstanding. Like, higher than Triple H's heel charisma. Like, he would use big words to belittle the crowd, and it was just great. Wade Barrett had everything to be the next major. He had everything to be the next major heel. He was on JBL heights of heel heat. Everywhere they went, he got booed. But WWE never really pulled the trigger on Wade, which I never when he was Nexus. And even so, if you think about it, they never gave him the title. So yeah, I guess that's statement is true. WWE never pulled the trigger on Wade. Even when he came back and when he was Bad News Barrett. And even with that, he was excellent. So I don't get why they held, you know, Stu Bennett, aka Wade Barrett. I don't know why they held him back, but he was outrageously good. So this is what they need to do at Retribution. So I'm gonna make a comparison because we don't know the identities. So it's like Aces and Eights. Remember, biker gang, mask, came, fucked up shit, left. We didn't know. Then one by one their masks started getting taken off, and one by one they started getting exposed until we had all the members of Aces and Eights. At the end of it all, or you could say at the climax, but the climax was weird. That's actually when I stopped watching TNA for like the 3rd time. They won. Bully Ray had the title, and Aces and Eights had the major title for the company. So when we get past who these people are, identities keep getting exposed one by one, or however they want to do it, because we don't know these people. They need to be credible people, just not Big E, because don't fuck up that singles run, please don't. So they need to be credible people. They need to do it consistently, and it doesn't matter how they win, whether it be clean or whether it be dirty. I like when my heels when clean, because it's basically like the shit talker that you don't like shit talking, saying that I am the best, and then they prove it by beating the face without cheating to prove the fact that they're backing up their shit talk, which I like the most. But let's see how this all plays out. You know, that was a full week run because they appeared on the end of Raw and then came up on SmackDown. They chainsawed the ring ropes, which I don't think has ever been done. I've never seen a chainsaw in a wrestling ring. And excuse me, never seen a chainsaw in a WWE wrestling ring and used to chainsaw the ropes. There we go. To be more specific. So yeah, they basically doing what they want me to do. They're gonna have me tune in on Monday. The 3-hour long ass show. See what they do. So yeah. That's gonna wrap this up for this week's Drama Scripted Saturday. If you like what you have witnessed, please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And until next Saturday, guys, I'm Game FIFA Normal Games, and I'm out of here. Later, and peace. Oh, before I go, I forgot to mention this. I may have to edit this somewhere back in there, but AEW is gonna have some schedule changes due to the NBA. Let's see. The Wednesday, the August 19th episode will air on Saturday, on August 22nd at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and then the August 26th episode will air on Thursday, August 27th at 8 p.m. And then the Wednesday episode on September 16th will air on Thursday, September 17th at 8 p.m. I'll screenshot and put everything in the video. But until then, guys, I'm out of here. Till next Saturday, I'm out of here. Later, and peace. Be safe, everyone.